I mean, is Cooper Rush worth 2.5 points? I would hope Quinn Ewers put up a decent stat line against Arizona State. If he didn't, we have a real problem.
You can say the same thing about Creighton. Okay, they had the one good game against Kansas at home.
When Toast talks about the kicking market, it's like some earth is flat shit. Andy, true or false, this is going to be a dog walking.
Dog walking. This is my dog walking of the day. I think it's going to be very ugly. Dog walking. I think this is going to be ugly.
Hey, get this sword. Greetings. Happy Thursday to you all. Hope you all had a nice Wednesday night. I lost a few dollars. 1-2 in the NBA last night. Oklahoma City, Memphis, that over, it was only short by about 30 points. Not even close. And then I lost the Heat, Cavs over. Which actually looked great at halftime. So I think Chris took the first half over and hit that. That was the way to go, the first half over.
No, I did not. I
thought you said
I did not. No. I said that I got a better number than you, but I placed it 2 minutes before Tyler Hero was downgraded. So I got a 225. It was a loser.
It looked great at half. So, yeah, we got Ski here. We got Chris here. Just 6 NBA games, so this will be a quick one. Then we'll talk some March Madness, a lot of conference tournaments. I got Toast coming on from Hawaii, sunburnt as hell. It's hilarious. And Moneyline Mac from College Experience is joining us for the college basketball. So 6 NBA games, and all right, this first one, Chicago on the road in Orlando. I don't have a bet on it, but I think this is a spot to play on Orlando. Finally, I know everyone that does the quote unquote banned list and the do not bet list, right? I think Orlando's at the top of those lists for everyone right now, with good reason. But if you watch the video I uploaded last night, the Magic have lost 4 games in a row at home. And if the Magic aren't winning at home, you can't trust them, because that's the Magic bread and butters. They play good in that arena, right? They're good in Orlando. They've lost 4 in a row at home, but one of those games was to Cleveland, who might be the best team in the NBA right now. The other game was against Golden State, who might be the hottest team in the NBA right now. Then they played the Raptors twice in a row, who are a terrible matchup for Orlando. The Raptors have been really good against those slow defensive teams all year. If you want to fade the Raptors, you do it against a team that runs. So I might be a little bit of a buy low spot in the Magic. No one wants to touch them. Last time I looked, there were injury reports, injuries everywhere here. Let me look. Yeah, we still don't know Giddey, still don't know Herter, Patrick Williams. Lonzo Ball's been ruled out.
And Vucevic was doubtful now.
Yeah, but he was doubtful last night too. Yeah, I think Magic
is out.
Yeah, I think Magic's the play. I think they win by double digits here. And if Josh Giddey's ruled out, I would bet the Magic up to like 10. So I don't have a bet on it, but I want to take Orlando here.
Yeah, I can't talk you off of that at all. Magic, they let me down that last time versus Toronto. Losing 2 games to Toronto, you can say what you want about matchup-wise, but that doesn't give me a whole lot of confidence to back them. With that said, as a favorite of 7 or more, they are 10-4 ATS so far this season. And they're in a spot in the standings where they really need to win some games. So I would think they could win by margin, especially without Vooch out there. It's Magic or nothing. It's just I didn't bet it yet.
Chris?
Bulls free die still. Orlando or nothing, I guess. But I'm not touching this game, especially with the injury report that you just talked about. Like Giddey means a lot. Kevin Herter means a lot for their offense if they're gonna be able to keep it close. Chicago.
Let's move on to the next game. Another game where I want to bet. I want to take the Hawks here, man. I know the Hawks are not going to be able to stop the Pacers offense. I know. You don't have to tell me. I know. I don't think the Pacers can stop the Hawks offense either. This is a Pacers team their defensive strength has been the 3-point line, but this is not your grandpa's Hawks team. This is not the 2024 Hawks. This Hawks team gets into the paint. In fact, they get into the paint and score in the interior more than almost any other team in the NBA. Maybe not in terms of efficiency, but in terms of shot frequency, they're attacking the interior. This is a different Hawks team, and the Pacers have struggled to protect the basket. They can't keep their opponents out of the paint, so the Hawks are going to score in this game. And to give the Hawks 3.5 at home, if Halliburton doesn't play, I would love Hawks plus 3.5. If Halliburton does play, I have this at around 2. So I don't think it'd be worth it to play the Hawks at 3.5. But if Halliburton doesn't play, I love the Hawks at 3.5. And if Halliburton gets ruled out and I could quickly grab a Hawks 3.5 before it moved, I'm in. That's how I feel about this game. I don't trust Indiana's defense, especially on the road. I think this game comes down to the last possession. Hawks.
Indiana's defense has been top 10 post All-Star, but in general, they're not a defense that I tend to trust. Hawks, if you like them, I would say, you know, you're not liking them because you think they're going to just lock the opponent down. So I lean towards over, but I think I'm with you here as far as the side. The Hawks, I always say where there's traders away at the house. I don't really care if Halliburton plays or not. I think they'll have the best player on the floor. I'm really becoming a big Dyson Daniels fan. I just think they can keep it close, if not win the game. So Hawks or nothing or over. Yeah, I like any of those.
I completely agree. What about Chris?
Yeah, I think over more than trying to figure out who's going to win the game. And to your point earlier, Kyle, I think when I look at the matchup for the Pacers, they've owned this matchup between Atlanta, even though both of these teams play very similar as far as like getting out running in transition, blah, 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 blah. I think they've won 5 straight and covered 5 straight against the Atlanta Hawks. Totals are 8-2 to the over, to what both of y'all are saying. So the way I look at the game is if Holly is rolled in, I like a Pacers team total up and over more than anything else. Not that Atlanta won't be able to score. Like you mentioned, Kyle, they are 8th in rim frequency, 8th in rim efficiency over the last 10 games. And you're right, Indiana can't really stop it. But Indiana's offense, what do? They get out and run in transition. The Hawks are not a good transition defense. They run a lot of pick and roll. The Hawks are terrible against the pick and roll. Like, they're bottom 5 in all of these things that I'm talking about, even post up. So I think no matter what happens, Indiana will be able to score. I think also Atlanta will be able to score, but I trust Indiana's offense a little bit more. So I would just go their team total up and over. I think it's like 124.5, 123.5, something like that. That's the way I would play it.
He said over, or Pacers team total over, not the Hawks, by the way. So we could just go ahead and move on to the next one. I have a bet in this game. Beat the number here. I got over 221.5 last night. Look, I know a lot of people don't want to talk over when it comes to the Brooklyn Nets, but you got to keep in mind, we haven't seen the Nets in many games with both Cam Thomas and D'Angelo Russell in the backcourt at the same time. And this Golden State team, they've been great. Not going to try to take away credit from what they've done. They have played a bit of an easy schedule, but they've been great. Their defense, elite on the interior, they've been vulnerable to jump shooters. And this Nets team, with Cam Thomas and D'Angelo Russell on the floor, they could shoot. When these two teams played earlier in the season, the Nets won 128-120. Did you guys see that in my video? The Nets won 128-120 when they played Golden State earlier in the year. They only had 34 points in the paint. Like, almost scored 100 shots, 100 points via jump shots and foul shots, obviously. But this is just death via jump shots. The Nets are going to have opportunities to knock down shots here. This Golden State defense is built to keep you out of the paint. The Nets can hit those shots. So I like the Nets to score here. Obviously, on the other side, I don't have to tell you that Golden State's going to score on the Nets. I mean, the Nets defense was good a few weeks ago. That is in the past. They look like shit. The Nets defense looks terrible. So Golden State's going to score right back. In terms of pace, these two teams have been middle of the pack, so I don't think we'll see a super slow-paced game either, especially with Cam Thomas, D'Angelo Russell in there. So, yeah, I think he gets up and over this total. Gentlemen?
It's like almost a proud moment because I remember earlier in the season we were talking about the Brooklyn Nets and just explaining the difference of when Cam Thomas and D'Lo play and when they don't. And Kyle's on it. I mean, you I didn't even see a 221, but it did open 227. Maybe it got low as 221, and since it came back to 223. But I think over or nothing in this game. I think over is actually, like, I haven't placed a bet yet, but this is the one bet I've been looking at since last night. For every reason you said, Cam Thomas and D'Lo are going to bring a lot more offense and absolutely no defense. The Warriors, they've been playing solid defensively post All-Star, but I'm just looking at some of these teams that they've been playing. It's not a whole lot of teams that are great offensively. I'll just say like that. So I like the over. I also do lean towards the Warriors just because I remember the last time they played. The Warriors were killing the Nets, and then they were up by double digits in the fourth quarter for sure. and then the Nets came back and won by like 9 or 8 or 10 or something like that. So it was just like an absolute collapse for them.
I remember that.
And that's just something you don't forget. So Warriors or over, I like them both.
Yeah. And I actually remember you saying that about the Nets. It had to be a couple months ago now. And as far as the over 221.5, that's what actually drew me to the attention. When these lines are opening, it's usually when the games are happening. So I'm trying to get through tomorrow's games before the lines open, so I know where I want to be on when they're opening. And actually what drew me to this one, I hadn't gotten to this game yet, and I saw it open on a few books, and FanDuel had it at 221.5, but the other 3 books that opened had it at 223.5. So I stopped what I was doing, and I was like, that's off. So I went and looked and grabbed it. So it was actually the fact that FanDuel was off by 2 points. That's what made me look at it. Was like, why is this so off? So I think I might have caught FanDuel napping a little bit.
Slipping.
Yeah.
Good work.
Yeah, great work, Cal. I do that a lot when I get done with your show, Cal. Like, I'll go ahead and start capping for tomorrow, and I'm looking for line discrepancies too. So, yeah, we beat the total with a Brooklyn game, I think, last week because of the same thing. And we also talked about, like, I know you liked the Spurs the other day against Brooklyn, but I told you I like the over just because Brooklyn was getting all that offense back. So I won't beat a dead horse because I think you guys have done it already. But on my show this morning, I talked about Golden State team total over, but full game over. I think the Brooklyn Nets team total is like 106.5. I feel like they should be able to get to 107, especially with Cam Thomas and Cam Johnson on the floor. They got a defensive rating with them two on the floor. It's only been like 30 minutes because they only played in the last game, but 117 is their defensive rating. You look at Golden State on the full season, not much of a transition team, but just 20th in transition frequency. But last 5 games, they're actually playing faster. 4th in transition frequency, 2nd in efficiency. We know Brooklyn's been the worst transition defense. So I think Golden State definitely going to be able to score 120 in this game. I like their team total 116 and the full game up and over. You still can get 223.5 right now, minus 115 over on ESPN Bet.
All right, let's move on to the next one. And this is like comedic. I just want to say that tweet that I sent earlier was sent jokingly. I'm not a complainer. I'm an NBA fan. I'm not the type of person that like shits on it. I meant that like jokingly. So I made a joke.
What'd you say?
I screenshotted the starting lineup for tonight's game, and I said, imagine buying tickets to the Celtics Sixers a couple months ago, expecting to see Maxey and Embiid in a playoff series rematch.
No, that's real shit right there.
No, it's a good point, but I meant it like to be funny, not like an NBA hater type of tweet.
No, you a hater and you a bitch ass hoe. That's what you is.
Yeah. I guess he sees right through me.
Yep.
So in case you don't know what I'm talking about, if Jason Tatum doesn't play, he's listed as questionable. Yo, deadass. So guys, question. Me and Proppy were talking about this about an hour ago. If Jason Tatum doesn't play, who are the best 2 players on the floor in this game? Is it Derek White and Yabusele?
Peyton Pritchard. Nah, Peyton Pritchard.
No, Derek White's better than Peyton Pritchard. He's an all-star.
Purely off of aura, and then Derek White as well.
Those 2 are the best players, not Yabusele.
And so, do you take
Derek White
and Kelly Oubre?
Yabusele's nice as well.
Peyton Pritchard.
No, truly.
No,
You guys are
Yabusele is
just naming
nice.
so many reasons for me not to watch this game tonight. I'll tell you that.
No, I got 3 reasons for you to watch this game today. Let's go ahead and talk about them. We're talking about Mr. Grimesy. All right, 1 second. Where the hell's the graphic?
We're talking about Grimesy.
We're talking about Grimesy. This guy's a usage machine right now. I don't know what it is, but when this guy gets usage, he's profitable as all hell. Let me go ahead and pull it up. I mean, I barely even looked at the matchup because when this guy gets usage, it's just pure profit. So yes, the spread is massive, but so is the vast opportunity ahead of our friend, Mr. Quentin Grimes. Embiid is out for the year. Maxey already ruled out. Paul George was ruled out as well. And Grimes has had a 22% usage rate in 36-plus minutes in 3 straight games now, averaging a 27% usage rate, 38 minutes per game. If we look going back to 2021, with just a 20% usage rate and 31-plus minutes, he's 12-2 to 20-plus points. You can get that right now, I believe, at plus 120. In those games, he's averaging 27 points per game. Meanwhile, he's hit 25 plus points his last 9 to 12 in these spots, and 30 plus his last 3 or 4 in these spots, which have all come this season. The corresponding odds, plus 350 and plus 1,000. Now, we've got Grimes, who's playing point guard for the Philadelphia 76ers, lead ball handler of this team. And for some reason, despite having a defensive beast in Derek White, the Celtics just struggled to defend guards. And we just saw Anthony Simons last night with 30. Shaedon Sharpe with 25 in that ball game. Jamal Murray recently with 26 against him. Garland with 20. Donovan Mitchell with 41. All against the Celtics team since the All-Star break. So while he may not be the same caliber of shooter as some of the names I've just mentioned, with the same usage as those guys at these prices, there's just simply way too much value to pass up. When Grimes gets usage, he is the man. So we're taking a Grimes ladder tonight, hoping he takes every shot on the court and we could get a somewhat competitive basketball game. I mean, who else is shooting the ball? Lonnie freaking Walker. So let's go Grimesy.
Such an unnecessary shot at Lonnie Walker.
I mean, I'm not taking shots at Yabo, so got to take a shot at somebody.
I put the Sixers up. I mean, are we really convinced that the Celtics are still 15 points better without almost their entire starting five? Dude, let's not pretend like we haven't seen Quentin Grimes, Kelly Oubre, Yabusele playing some decent basketball this year. I'm not betting it, so I'm not even going to talk about it any longer. Chris or Ski?
That was really funny to hear you want to take it and talk yourself immediately.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
I'm kind of with you. Like, if I'm betting it, I would just take Tatum to, whatever PRA, just because he's the only starter left. But I'm gonna pass this game.
Chris?
Pass.
Yeah, let's just move on. Anyone into trends? All 3 times the Sixers and Celtics have played this year went up and over the total. So maybe an over, because we've seen high scoring games between these two. Rockets.
Well, my bad.
What's up? You can talk.
I was gonna say, Pritchard and Hauser are just gonna shoot threes,
dude.
And
Pritchard, every time he comes on the court, whether they're up 30 points or whatever, it's like it's Peyton Pritchard time.
It's his moment.
This is my time. Like, this is what the
40
fans
last night was crazy.
He'll come on.
40 last night was crazy.
The Celtics be up 34 points. He comes on with 4 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, and he truly believes like this is what the fans came to see right here. Give me the ball.
He play in that moment, Cal. He plays like they're down 20 and they need to come back in 4 minutes.
And if you have an over that's like borderline and the Celtics are up big, if you see Peyton Pritchard come on the court, you're like, I am good. He's about to turn this into a track meet. Rockets, Pelicans, Houston up, man. Rockets, no brainer here. When I say no brainer, bet responsibly. doesn't mean what your real bankroll on it, but I like the Rockets here. I know the Rockets have looked like shit, specifically on the offensive side. They need Steady Freddie back bad. They need Fred VanVleet back on the floor. This is a good bet, Ski. Why don't you hear me out for a second?
Okay.
So the Rockets offense look like shit without Freddie VanVleet. So how can you lay 4.5 points on the road with what has looked like a bottom 5, bottom 10 offense? Get it. That's what everyone's thinking. Get it. But I'm not talking about the Rockets offense. I'm talking about the rebounding, because the Rockets front court is healthy. And we are talking about literally the best offensive rebounding team in the NBA against the worst defensive rebounding team in the NBA. Rockets are first in offensive rebounding rate. The Pelicans are 30th in defensive rebounding rate. So even if the Rockets can't hit their shots, they're going to get plenty of second chance opportunities. And check this out. This is the moneymaker right here. This is crazy, actually. 1 second. Let me pull it up. I don't want to misrepresent the numbers. So where's Rockets, Pelicans? Where's my stuff? Okay, so the Rockets against bad defensive rebounding teams, 10-3 against the spread against the bottom 5. The Pelicans against good offensive rebounding teams, 3-12 against the spread. The Rockets might have 25 offensive rebounds in this game. They're the significantly better team. I know laying 4.5 points on the road with an offense that's looked as bad as Houston is scary. I like Houston, man. I'm on the Rockets. I got it at -5. Dropped to 4.5. Don't care.
Well, I like a lot of what you said. Everything probably except for the full game. I mean, how many times we got to talk about it? You've learned a little bit, though. They need Fred VanVleet back. I'm not trusting Jalen Green at the end of the game. I'm just not doing it. I've seen enough. it's Rockets first half. They go out and throw the first punch, and everything's all good. Second half, you don't got to worry about it anymore. You enjoy the rest of your night. So get in and get out with this one. That's my advice.
Yet someone said don't care. That's crazy. Yeah, I mean I care that the line moved against me, but I'm saying I just like the Spurs at -5. It dropped to 3.5, and it hit the line movement has actually been losing the last few days. Now, obviously, you want the line to move in your favor, but it's not the type of thing where I'm like, oh, I screwed up. I'm screwed. It moved a half point against me. I'm not worried about it. Chris?
I probably placed this before you did, Cal, and I got 4.5 last night. Because I bet it before the Detroit game started last night. Detroit and the Clippers game. I bet it before then, and it was all the reasons that you just said. So I think the line did go from 4.5 up to 5, and then it came back down from 5 to 4.5. Like you said, I don't think that people, like, from the outside looking in, like people looking at this game, kind of like a little bit of what Ski said, like no Fred VanVleet. How can you lay points with Houston? Houston, this is just like stylistically, this is the type of fight you want to take Houston in. It's a reason why they've covered like both games so far this season, in my opinion, and a lot of it is due to the rebounding. But also, this is what you didn't mention, Kyle. If we look at like what the Rockets have been doing recently, they played a very strong strength of schedule, number 5 over the last 5 games. They played Indy the other day. They won the second leg of a back-to-back. They played OKC. They were shorthanded, got smoked in that spot. Actually, they covered the spread in that spot. And then they play Sacramento, who's 5-0 to the under and playing top 5 rated defense over the last 5 games. They played the Bucks in there. So you can keep going on and on. But so to your point, the offense should improve. The Pelicans are 27th defensive rated team last 5 games. 121.8 defensive rating, 29th on the full season. Like, whatever shot they miss, they should be able to get their own offensive rebound. The other thing that you didn't mention, Kyle, is what do the Pelicans do on offense? They run a ton of pick and roll. They're actually 3rd in frequency on the full season, bottom 10 in efficiency, though. And Houston is top 5 defensively against the pick and roll. So to Ski's point, I don't really like laying points with Jalen Green and my money being tied up. But I don't even think it's gonna come down to a one or two possession game. I think they win by like 9 or 10. So I took the Pelicans. Not the Pelicans. I took Houston. It's actually the only thing that I bet today. Houston minus the 4.5.
Let's do it. And now, well, here we are. Knicks are in LA. Go ahead, put the poll up. Let the whole world click the Lakers. I love it. Yeah, Lakers just beat the Knicks in Madison Square Garden. This is 3.5. This is free. Oh, you can even get a 3 now. It's easy money, man. Take the Lakers, right, Ski?
Of course, Karl Anthony Towns is playing tonight. I wouldn't be surprised if OG goes out there and play too. Everybody plays when the Lakers on the other side, but I'll say last night I looked at this and I'm like, this don't make no sense. -3. Lakers they've won what, 18 of the last 21 games, something like that. Like -3. It looks too easy. And when it looks too easy like that, when I feel like they're begging you to take one side, like odds makers, they put a line out there to get action from both sides, right? Who's running to the window the most at -3 or +3? Is it the Knicks or the Lakers? Like, I don't want to be on the Lakers in this situation. I can just enjoy it as a fan. I think the Knicks are going to cover. Whether the Lakers win or not, we'll see. But
they ain't winning.
It'll break, bro. I can't bet on this game. I just can't do it because I love the Lakers and they're playing so good, and it makes so much sense to bet the Lakers. But my gut tells me the Knicks are going to cover.
I mean, I'm not really seeing. Obviously, you have to question the strength of schedule with the Lakers recently, and I'm
21 games, bro.
No, I know, I get it. It's just of those 21 games, how many good wins are in there? Like, what are the good wins?
A lot, I would imagine.
There's a lot.
Golden State.
A lot. Our schedule was tough recently, so
it was tough recently. You got Utah twice. You got Charlotte. You got the Mavericks missing everybody. You got Minnesota with no Gobert or Randall. You got the Clippers twice. You got the Pelicans. You got Portland. Man, this schedule sucks. Take the Lakers, Chris. See, these Lakers fans are scared of the
You already
Lakers
took the Knicks, right? Kyle, the Lakers have won what? 6? What are they? 6? They won like what? What do you say, Ski? Like Like
I think it's
8-2 in their last
21.
10 games. 18-21, 8-2 last 10, 7-3 against spread. You know what I'm doing, Kyle? I'm sitting back just enjoying it. I haven't bet one of them. Like the only, you know what I
you
bet?
ain't gonna enjoy this, bro. You are not gonna enjoy this.
Pelicans. I bet the Pelicans team total under the other day, and we both lost on that one. That's what I ended up betting. I did bet, I think Dallas team total under when they came back, and I won some money there. I haven't bet on the Lakers at all during this streak. Like, do I think they can win the game? Yeah. Does it look easy like Ski said? Yeah. Am I off the game? Yes. I'm not touching this game. I want nothing to do with it. But I'll root you on. Hope y'all lose by 3, because I know you got a +4.
I want you
So
guys.
if I got to put something, I'll put Lakers first half because they've covered every single first half post All-Star. So
I want you guys to take notice of the screen right now, right? The Lakers are what? 20-3 in the last 23 games. They're red hot. I am sitting in the middle of 2 Lakers fans. Short number at 3. All I see is a Knicks graphic up. There's not a lot of confidence on the 2 sides of the screen here. Knicks are going to get whatever they want down low here. This whole Lakers playing good defense on the interior, it's a mirage. It's a bunch of bullshit. They don't have the pieces. Knicks are back. Towns is back. Let's not forget that this has been a top 5 offense all year. As long as Anunoby plays, I'm on the right side. We just saw, look, the Knicks have not been covering the number at all recently. They're almost always laying points. They're 8-5 in their last 13 games, so it's not like they're losing. They're 8-5 in their
They haven't been beating good teams either.
They just went into Memphis, smacked them around.
Memphis is a good team?
Do we think Memphis is a good team? 1-8-1 against the spread last 10? I don't know.
I mean,
I never liked Memphis.
They got almost the same record as the Lakers.
Nah.
We second in the
You
West.
guys are suffering from recency bias. This game comes down to the last possession. Knicks plus 3.5. Someone goes, take the Knicks then, Kyle. What do you see under my face right now?
Yeah,
what are you talking about?
Celtics, Warriors, they beat the Knicks. They beat the Warriors. They beat the Pacers. They beat
Hold
the
on.
Nuggets.
Oh, you want to talk? You
Timberwolves.
want to go through it? Okay. Yeah, they beat.
They beat this Knicks team, what, 128?
They beat the Knicks with no OG.
Okay.
They didn't have AD either, though. That was the game. That was the day that AD got traded.
They don't have AD now.
I know. I'm just saying that when that win happened, we didn't even have Luka. Like that was the Max Christie game, and Bron game.
Yeah. So I don't understand why there's not
Y'all
a
making me want to take the Lakers.
Why is there not a Lakers minus 3.5 on your face right now? I'm just saying
because I haven't bet Laker games, Kyle.
All the arguments you're throwing out there are just bouncing off. You don't have a Lakers minus 3.5 when it's under your face. We can talk until then.
Either.
Yeah. Then in that case, we agree. Knicks. All right, clear the board. If you guys want to check out more of these guys' stuff, Ski does a couple shows. He does an afternoon show. They do a late night show. Ski Profit. His Twitter name is right underneath his face there. Give him a follow on Twitter. Give him a subscribe on YouTube. Same goes for Crispy Cap, and he does a morning show, 7:30 a.m. Eastern time. Crispy Cap spelled just like that under his face. Both these guys will be back tomorrow. So, guys, see you tomorrow for an 8-game slate, and I'll be flexing a Knicks hat.
No, you won't. You won't.
We'll see.
Yeah, Lakers gonna win outright. Best of luck tonight, fellas.
Let's talk some college basketball. We got Sunburnt Toast, and we got Moneyline Mac to talk some college ball. I mean, you've been winning recently, so I guess people do like burnt toast. All right, this prop viewer's going to set the screen up. Obviously, if you guys watched last night, there's not much I can participate in. I don't know much about the mid-majors, so I'm just letting these guys talk. It's Thursday, so it's not a big college basketball regular season night to begin with. It's mostly just the mid-major tournaments. So I'm listening, trying to find some angles, some spots to bet on. And you've heard me say several times, I will never bet on Pacific. Team sucks. So we can put San Diego up for me right before we get started. The team is awful.
I'll just go really quickly. I bet San Diego. I think that these teams are very similar. San Diego Pacific is a little bit better team with 4 wins, but again, I think that's pretty much the same. I'm taking the team with the better coach in Steve Lavin, who's been there and done that with many different teams, including UCLA and St. John's. He should be able. I feel like he's going to be able to get this team ready. Dave Smart is the first-year coach in Pacific. This is going to be his first time coaching in a conference tournament, so I'll take my chances with Lavs here. It's a short number. He also just got a contract extension, so I think that these guys are going to be ready to go and continue to play for next year, which kind of helps as well. So, yeah, I'm on San Diego.
Mac, are we sweeping San Diego?
No, I actually Toast just laid out all the reasons I'm going to fade Lavin. I don't agree with bringing him back. They've been very up and down in the Lavin tenure. I actually liked the Dave Smart hire. He was a good coach at the Canadian level over there, and he's brought over some Canadian talent. So I think that this program is going in the right direction. And if you remember, Pacific was down 50 last year in this exact game at the half. Yeah. I think Smart uses that, even though he wasn't the coach, and we get a strong outing and they beat Lava here. So, yeah, give me Pacific.
I will never bet Pacific, not just this year, again, because I bet them one game earlier in the year. I think it was in January. I took Pacific plus, it was like 14.5 against Santa Clara, I think it was. And I happened to just sit there and watch the game. This team sucks. Like, this is not a basketball team. So I don't even care about Lavin. I guess that's the coach's name. I don't care about anything you're talking about in San Diego. This team is ass. I will never bet Pacific. Never again.
And they're favored.
Exactly. Let's move on to.
I will say them being favored is probably a sign. I will give you that.
It's a sign of a bad bet. San Diego up.
I bet San Diego though. I'm all on board.
It's a good bet. Good pick. Yeah, Boston University Terriers. You guys go. I have no idea. I don't even know what conference this is. Patriot.
Yeah, I leaned Navy last night. I'm really not in love with it. I think that both of these teams are very similar as far as they're playing well. So, Mac, you can go first on this one. You can put up Navy for me, though.
Yeah, Toast, I'll co-sign Navy. Navy's actually one of the hotter teams in the Patriot League coming down the stretch. They've won 5 out of 6. And they played Boston earlier in the year. They won the first meeting, and then they got blown out the second meeting. Numbers short for a reason. I think we get a game that comes right down the wire. So you're giving me points with Navy and experience. Ed DeChellis. I'll take the midshipman here.
Sounds good. I don't know enough to even agree or disagree. So sounds good. I'm pretty sure Trevor took Boston last night, though. Didn't he, Toast?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did, too. I can't remember why, though. I don't. Yeah,
me neither.
Not that, I mean, they're very similar. I think he likes Boston because of their size and their rebounding ability, but Navy's like the second best rebounding team in the conference right behind them, so they should be all right there, but we'll see.
I noticed you like to fade Trevor, so
it is fun. It is fun.
I try if I can, but I mean,
I was talking about Kyle because I sometimes I'll watch Kyle just listen to Trevor, and he'll just go the other way just to mess with Trevor.
Yeah. Like, you know what? Nah, give me the other side. I'll talk about a team I've never heard of. Elephants. No, it's Purdue Fort Wayne against Youngstown State. Penguins at home. Wait, is this a true home game in these Horizon? Yes. Okay, so it's a true home game for the Penguins. I know some people like to bet. Oh, is this the game? This might be the game that it's $2 beer night. Oh no, that's Robert Morris. We'll get to that. Yeah,
Robert Morris, but they screwed it up, so it's not even a true.
Dude,
beer
did you
night.
see the hats they're giving out? Some sick.
They're
hats.
only giving out 100, so now you're only gonna. Everybody's gonna be pissed
off. Is that
off
confirmed?
because that is 100%, 1,000% confirmed. Just talk to Trevor about it. He knows everything about any beer night in college basketball.
He really does, especially in the Horizon. He's all.
I will take Trevor at his word. They're only giving it to 100 people. That might. Yeah, that's not a good thing.
Dude, there was one team we were talking about, and they were talking about on the Pump Fake show, and Trevor's like, let me check. Oh, yeah, they're giving out T-shirts. And it was like, Trevor, you follow this team on Twitter? And he goes, yeah. And I went and looked. They had 611 Twitter followers. Trevor's one of them. All right. Purdue Fort Wayne, Toast?
I played the over personally. That's how I kind of wanted to attack this one. Both these teams play at a decent pace. The Elephants, as you like to call them, Purdue Fort Wayne, pretty decent offensively, one of the best in the conference. They don't turn the ball over, and the IPFR and the Youngstown defense has been really good. I will give them that, but these teams are very familiar with each other. I just have a hard time believing that we don't see points here. So I just thought it was a little bit under or a little bit low, given that it's actually, I'm sorry. I thought it was a little bit high for a reason here. Both these teams can shoot free throws as well. So yeah, I played the over.
Mac?
I'm on the Mastodons here, man, and they were one of the preseason favorites in this league. They brought back almost all their guys from a 22-win season, and they kind of underachieved in the regular season. They got upset early last year in the Horizon by Cleveland State here. I'll take Kaufman in this veteran group led by guys like Jalen Jackson and Rasheed Bello. I think that they remember last year, and they got drilled at Youngstown just a couple of weeks ago. I'll take the more experienced team. More experienced coach. I'll take Fort Wayne.
I like that pick. And I don't know anything about Purdue Fort Wayne, but I like that angle of taking the team that's been there before. That's kind of why I want to bet Oakland in a few games against Milwaukee. Yeah. The team that was there last year. Like, it's showtime. This is when the teams show up, right? It's kind of like, okay, this line is kind of a reflection of the regular season. So, yeah, I kind of like Purdue Fort Wayne. I might bet that one.
If I'm being honest, I kind of ended up pussying out with Purdue Fort Wayne because I really wanted to play them. I ended up going with the over because I thought they were going to get buckets either way. Plus, both these teams played this year. When they scored like 180 points. But I just felt like Purdue Fort Wayne was going to get theirs. I just feel like Youngstown State might be able to get theirs too. So I get the Fort Wayne love for sure.
This next one, I know Toast and Trevor were both big on Evansville here. Mac, do you agree with that?
I do agree with that. I like David Ragland, their coach, year number 3. He had a super young group this year, and I think that they got better and better throughout the year. Murray State, to me, is just a big name at this point. Like, John Morant doesn't play for Murray State anymore. And I know Steve Prohm was great the first tenure with Isaiah Cannon and those guys when he had pros, Campaign, who's in the NBA as well. But this team has just struggled with consistency. It's a beautiful 5.5 number that we love to talk about. So I'm on Evansville, and I think they're live in this game.
Yeah, Toast said pretty much something.
I was going to say, I know you didn't watch the show last night, but that you pretty much said exactly verbatim exactly what I said. So, yeah, I'm on Evansville as well. I think they match up really well. I made this game under 3, so getting 5.5 was just a no-brainer for me. I also played them on the money line as well. Also, they played earlier this year 2 times, and both of the games were under 5, so they should have played another close one, I would assume.
Put up Murray State for me. Because John Morant went here, guys. I think you're missing the point that John Morant went to school here. That's the part you're not getting. No, I don't know shit. Follow these guys, not me. But Murray State is my pick. All right. Guys, I know the line is sketchy, and I don't know what Mac's about to pick. I know Toast loves Iowa. I don't know what Mac's about to pick, but can we please at least acknowledge that the market has been underestimating Michigan State? It's not weird for Michigan State to put Sparty up for me. It's not weird for Michigan State to have a sketchy line because we keep seeing that Illinois was laying 7 points to them. The market keeps underestimating. It's January, February Izzo. We're into Izzo now. Sparty by double digits. Go ahead. Both these guys are going to actually, I don't know what Mac's going to take. But
before Mac goes, I just want to say I don't think it's as much of a sketchy line as a shit spot for Michigan State. That's all I'm going to say for now. Go ahead, Mac.
Yeah, I'm on Iowa.
I knew it. I love this guy.
This is senior night for Fran McCaffrey. They're kind of pushing him out the window, the final home game here. And for whatever reason, Iowa has always messed with Michigan State. I don't know if it's they spread them out and make a bunch of threes against that Izzo defense. I do agree with you, Kyle, that we've underestimated Sparty over and over. I like taking them as a dog, though, not when they're laying north of 2 possessions. So I don't want to say it's a look ahead because all they got to do is win, and they win the Big Ten outright. But maybe a little bit of a letdown knowing that they got Michigan on deck. And I think we get a close one. It would not shock me if we get a chaotic upset in the only high major game of the night.
Just the disrespect of Sparty. Let's go to the next one. So I've switched teams here, Toast. We all liked Wright State last night. You and Trevor both liked it, and I was like, I'm down. I didn't realize they're giving out hats. And Trevor sent me a picture of the hat. That would get me fired up if I was tuned up walking to the stadium getting a hat. So okay. I'm switching over to the team that's like 25-0 against the spread. Robert Morris.
That's cool. Cool story. Counterpoint, though. How would you feel if you were the 101st person in the door?
Dude, that's not confirmed that it's only 100 people.
That is 100% confirmed. I'm looking at the tweet right now.
Let me look at it.
Confirmed. Okay? There's no question about it. It literally says, coming to the game tonight at 7 p.m., we're giving out 100 free beers. You could also walk away with one of these sweet hats.
So are you implying the people that don't get a hat, they're not going to cheer for the team in the conference tournament?
Exactly what I'm going to be playing. The silent night at Robert Morris for everybody except for 100 guys.
Toast is on Bright State.
Yeah, I'm curious to hear what Max says because I know that he's a money line guy, so I'm curious to see if he likes them as well.
Oh, I love the Horizon Dogs tonight. And I usually do reference preseason rankings for the conference tournament just because I think that there's a level of complacency that goes in with these mid-major teams where, hey, we know we're not going to win the regular season. All that matters is we get hot and healthy for 3 days in March. I think Wright State is just as talented as Robert Morris. Robert Morris is a great story here, winning 14 out of 15. Andy Toole was on the hot seat, but their only loss in that time was to Wright State. I think this is a bad matchup. I like Wright State, and I will sprinkle on the money line as well. And maybe we get an 8-1 upset to start the madness here.
And so the first Robert Morris, the first 1,000 fans are getting a Robert Morris basketball jersey, which is a shirt jersey.
Does it have alcohol in it?
I don't think so. Let's go to the next one.
I just want to say really quickly with that Wright State game, both these teams played 2 close games earlier in the year as well, and the line was never over 3, and now we're getting almost 6. We're getting 6.5 with Wright State. This line is just way too big for a Robert Morris team that's been probably more lucky than good lately.
Yeah.
All right. This next one, I like Oakland. I like what Trevor was talking about last night. He was, remember, Oakland was the team in this conference last year. Weren't that great during the regular season. That's why they're catching 6.5 points in this one. But now it's March. It's the conference tournament, and now is when we see the team that won it last year show up plus 6.5. I think I'm going to bet this one.
Yeah, I bet Oakland as well. I bet Oakland plus 6.5, and I bet them on the money line at plus 220 as well. So they've been one of those teams that have been finding ways to win, but I think that that's one of those coaching things with Campy more than anything. They lost to Purdue Fort Wayne and this Milwaukee team. They lost to this Milwaukee team by 5 on the road, and now they get to play them. I know it's a kind of a weird spot and having to travel within all this conference games and what our conference tournament games and whatever. But I really think that them and Milwaukee are kind of even. I know that Milwaukee's been one of the best teams in this conference, but at the same time, I do think there's a huge coaching advantage for Oakland, and they've played them close each time that they've played. So as long as Oakland just doesn't turn the basketball over every single possession, I'm not too worried about it. The only thing that's a positive about Oakland turning the basketball over is that Milwaukee's a turnover-prone team as well. So a lot of the positives that you can say for Milwaukee, you can say about Oakland and vice versa as well. So I just thought it was too many points with a way better coach. So I took Oakland in on the money line.
Well, Mac just said he likes the Horizon Dogs tonight, so I'm assuming he's about to take Oakland.
No, this is the one favorite I had. I think that Oakland will be the popular dog tonight. And I like Bart Lundy. Milwaukee got to the finals last year. They gave Oakland everything they had, and they came up just short against that really, really good Oakland team. I don't think Oakland is as good as they were last year with guys like Townsend at Arizona, Golke, and the magical game he had. I think the veteran group of Milwaukee gets the revenge here tonight, and they blow this thing open late. So I'll be on the other side. We're agreeing too much, so I'll lay it with.
It's okay. I was just gonna say I saw a couple articles now on certain websites that I get what you mean. Oakland's probably going to be a little bit popular. I just assumed that kind of everybody would be on Milwaukee because they've treated everybody so well.
As far as our poll, 60%, 30% Oakland. So as far as the people watching, they're mostly clicking Oakland. Some people clicking the over as well. All right, we got 3 games left. Look, I kind of am rethinking this one. I kind of am going to side with Juice. All right, so last night, you guys both took Northern Kentucky, and I agreed. But Northern Kentucky's on this heater, right? They're playing their best basketball of the year right now, which is awesome. That's what you want. What would this line have been if we saw this exact matchup 3 weeks ago? Would it have been like 9.5?
We saw it. We did see it. I mean, we saw it a month ago, and Cleveland was minus 4.5. We saw it a couple weeks ago.
So this
Northern Kentucky was minus 2.
So this heater for Northern Kentucky hasn't affected the market?
I don't know. Maybe a little bit. They haven't missed. I mean, they haven't really been as good on the road or on neutral situations. But I mean, I don't really bet them enough to make an educated guess. Maybe Mac, our educated answer, maybe Mac would know, but I don't think it's too much. I just think they're on a heater.
Northern Kentucky's on a heater right now, right, Mac?
So yeah, they've won. They're the hottest team in the league. They've won 8 out of 9. They played a couple weeks ago. Northern Kentucky actually was favored
So
against
what?
Cleveland State.
What am I missing then?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
The Norse and Wright State have been like overvalued, or the advanced metrics have liked them the entire year. They had expectations coming in, and they kind of underachieved. Northern Kentucky plays kind of a funky zone, so this group has been a little bit slow to adapt to this to their defense, and it's taken a minute. But ever since February, they made a lineup change, and they've been on fire. Everything I said about Wright State, I'm saying about Northern Kentucky. I think the 7 and 8 seeds are going to win in the Horizon tonight. Cleveland State's been an overachieving team, just like Robert Morris, and those are the prime teams I like to fade come March, with all the pressure in the world on them as the hunted versus the hunter.
Okay, so yeah, I was misunderstanding. I thought because and this is just like what logic would tell me, if Northern Kentucky's on this heater, we could be seeing a 4.5 where it should be a 9. That's the way I was looking at it. But it sounds like the market's kind of been evaluating Northern Kentucky like this all year. Switch me back to the Norse.
Yeah. And then and another thing is that Cleveland State did all their damage at the beginning of the year. They started conference play 11-1. They finished 14-6. I mean, they haven't really, since the month of February started, they really haven't played well. They got up to play Milwaukee, and besides that, they really haven't done anything. So I just don't even think they're playing well enough to be warranted this big of a number.
Let's move on. We got 2 games left. I don't even remember talking about this one last night. Queens Lipscomb. Did we not talk about this game last night? I don't even remember this.
I don't think so.
Well, the reason it's on the list is because you have a bet on it.
Guy Toast loves Queens Bowl.
You like Queens?
Yeah, dude. I'm on Queens tonight and Queens money line. I told you guys they're winning this goddamn tournament.
I don't remember you saying that.
Wrapping up. Well, I did. And I bet them on the money line their first game at 5.5 dogs. And I bet them on the money line tonight at 9.5 point dogs. So I'm really curious to see if Mac is with me on this one. I'll give you my spiel when he's done, but I'm kind of curious to see if he's with me.
Oh yeah, I love Queens. They already won at Lipscomb this year.
I know.
Like Lipscomb's an analytics darling. They shoot a bunch of threes. They play pretty brand of basketball with their offense. But Queens is a team that can muck it up, get the game in the mud, and kind of swallow them with some athleticism. So they're not eligible for the postseason tournament, by the way, the NCAA tournament. So they got nothing to lose here. I think it's a house money game for Queens, and I think they're live to win the game 4-1 as well. I actually think that they may win the tournament, although I do have North Alabama as my future. So, yeah, I'm on Queens tonight, all day, baby.
Give me Queens. Screw it.
Yeah. Couldn't have said it better myself. I also think that Lipscomb's like a little bit overvalued right now. So Queens has been playing really good. So we'll see what happens. But I think they're much better than people give them credit for. And very much like St. Thomas. That's half the reason that I bet them and St. Thomas as well. This is their NCAA tournament. They're nothing else.
Why are they not eligible?
It's a stupid Division II rule where you got to wait 4 or 5 years to be eligible. It makes no sense because if we're good enough to make the NCAA tournament, why are we being restricted because we're D2? Like, what?
That rule makes absolutely no sense. Like, what does 5 years do? Like, I don't understand.
Yeah. So kind of like the James Madison type.
It's exactly like James Madison with the bowl game and all that. Jacksonville State. NCAA chooses and picks their weird ass battles while we pay these players millions of dollars, but they can't compete for the NCAA tournament if they earn their spot there. Stupid as hell.
I would like to hear somebody someone that works for the NCAA or someone who's educated on the topic present a counter argument, because I can't even think of like one good point against it.
Hey, UC San Diego, as good as they've been, this is their first year eligible. Thank God they're eligible to go to the tournament. They're like 26-3.
Yeah, that would be a disgrace.
Yeah, so thank God that they're at least eligible.
Yeah, that's crazy. Let's move on to the last game we have queued up. St. Thomas, dog walk of the day. Don't know a damn thing about them, but St. Thomas minus 10.5.
Oh, that's
Toast
awesome.
agrees, though. He's on it, too.
Yeah, I just pretty much the same thing. Trevor pushed me over the edge last night, but yeah, I like the Tommies. I think that they're one of the best teams, if not the best team in this conference. Their offense is going to be going. Like I just said, that this is their NCAA tournament. So I think they blow this Denver team out. Denver's actually been pretty decent, but I think this is the Tommies' time to shine.
You with us, Mac?
I'm on the other side. I think I'm the only guy on Denver. I'd imagine the Pioneers are not very popular here. I love the Tommies, but I love the Tommies when they're at the Shoemaker. I usually fade them when they hit the road or they're on a neutral. They're laying double digits. That's a bit high for me. The game's in South Dakota. It's going to be a pro Jackrabbit crowd. I think they would like to see the Pioneers actually pull the upset. But I think the Tommies are good, too good. They win by 7. So I'll take the points.
Takes Denver. Yeah, Trevor definitely took St. Thomas with us last night. I remember that.
I will say I was a little bit hesitant as well because I felt the same way. I was kind of hesitant with the Tommies laying a big number when they haven't done it. They also just played Denver to 3 at Denver, which I know this game isn't at Denver, but it's still a neutral. It's not at home. So I definitely get it.
All right, so that's the last game we have queued up. I'm putting the link to College Experience YouTube channel in the description or in the comments. Mac's going to be with us tomorrow as well, helping us out during the busy time. He's also going to be hanging out with us during college football season in the fall. So also clear the board so they can see. Oh, you already did. That's his name on Twitter. Give him a follow. We'll be back tomorrow, 4 p.m. College Experience has a pregame show starting in 1 hour and 9 minutes. If you want to check that out, they'll go through the whole slate. And then their show, they do like an overnight show that starts right after ours. They'll be live for hours. They'll go through the entire slate. They'll recap and then go through the next day. So give them a follow over there. Let's have a good one, guys. Remember to bet responsibly tonight. See y'all tomorrow.